p.m.
Good morning.
I can't even fake that I didn't hear you. Yeah,
And I had to make all my intros epic right now so people don't tell me
exactly.
they don't hear me.
Exactly. You need to make an impression.
Yeah.
GM Jindo, Shitblade, Neo, Queendar, Tick, Atsiri, Ahota. How you guys doing? Legends.
Hey, pero.
Falcor. My man is cooking. Long time.
Ahota.
Ahota. How is everyone feeling this blessed week?
Dude,
Yeah,
it's a weird week in the markets, as
it's a weird
always.
week.
It feels like the last few months have been weird as a whole. I don't know if anyone gets the same feeling.
It's a feeling that it's so over and we are so back at the same time.
All the time.
Exactly. It's a weird time for sure, Santi. I have this feeling as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Neo, now I see you, Neo. Now I see your tag. Yeah, the last few months have been crazy. True, Blade. Feels like the calm before the storm, for sure. And in Star Atlas as well. Let me tell you that.
It's literally that, yeah. And now I think we are finally able to start talking a little bit about that, right, Santi?
I think this may be the final week of calm.
The final the final week, yes. Ah, feels good. Feels good. Did you see Michael announcement of an announcement, Santi?
I saw it. I
Yeah,
saw it.
felt
Let's
good, you
see
know.
what people think he's talking about. Let's
Yeah,
see.
that's a good one. Let's share the
Let me
tweet.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. yeah. Let me pull it up so people that watch the recording can see as well.
yes.
Let me see if I can share. Let me know if you see my screen.
I see your screen, Michael Wagner.
Look at this.
The man said, something monumental coming for Star Atlas. Consider this your announcement of an announcement. I can't even remember the last time we had a proper announcement of an announcement, Santi.
We have been very quiet when it comes to that. We've been keeping it
Yes,
super steady.
I feel proud of us actually, you know.
Of
We
our
have
steadiness?
been, yes, we have been saving this for such a long time now, and no one leaked it. So I feel proud of our team, not even
Mm-hmm.
Michael. Yeah,
Yeah, you can connect the dots, but nobody leaked it completely, you know?
yeah,
So, what do you guys think he's talking about here? I want to see some speculation.
yeah. What's going to be the announcement of an announcement? Wagner
Let's
found
get
fancy hat.
Emperor on stage. Emperor, welcome to the stage, my friend.
Hey guys, thanks for
Oh,
having me.
Hey,
camera's on.
Emperor,
Yep, I'm doing it.
let's go.
Okay. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
My hair is a mess.
You look beautiful, Jose.
Thank you, bro.
Cool.
Hello, Katir.
So, yeah, yeah. Nice to see your face, Emperor, my friend. Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
for joining.
been a while since I've been on camera. We had our meeting with Swags the other day, and he said you're always driving, Emperor. So I can never have my camera on because I'm always driving. But
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
That's true.
C4 will be cool, says Mustache Read.
Fair.
Fair? Yeah. Yeah.
Auctions in Flint Rentals. Anthony is asking,
Auctions in
maybe.
fleet rentals. Anthony, are you getting all the Katir riots? Katir is rioting with the Onis there. I don't know if you've been getting those pings, but yeah.
I know. The man knows.
He knows. Don't call. Yeah.
Nice.
How are things in Holocim just there right now as well?
Man, Holocene has been pure chaos, Santi. Like for real. I have been watching today the Ulster fleet pretty much wipe the floor with the other factions.
Really?
It's been crazy. Yeah, the Ulster fleet is doing Irish work down there. The elders are proud of those guys. And it's super cool to see the war raging now. And now Jindo is coming saying, I missed the 25 Ulster fleets that died in Lily Die.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holocene, as you can see, Holocene is on fire. We are having fun there. I feel like we are reaching a very good spot with Holocene, and we are getting close to the point where we are going to close this test for now. So keep playing, guys. Keep breaking stuff. The results have been super positive. You guys have been doing a lot of good work there. I'm super proud of you guys. And the new seasons, the new chapters of Holocene are going to be wild. Get ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The war is coming. That's true, Captain. That's true. There has been less and less breaking. I've actually got to play it last week over helping people in the chat. That's true as well. It's getting better. It's getting better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and it,
since I'm on stage, I'm gonna abuse my privilege and say, Oni, we're finally getting there. Like Falcor said, we're a force to be reckoned with now. So I'm glad we've had this experience.
Yeah,
true.
it's super interesting actually to see the three factions rising and being competitive with one another, and beef starting to rise, and tensions in the air, and promises of pain and revenge. That's what Holocene is about. I'm proud of everyone involved.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's about to get even better with the next season. But we won't say anything yet. We won't say
Yes.
anything yet. But yeah, we can talk a little bit about what is coming soon. One of the things that are coming soon is Community Week, and you guys will learn the date probably very soon, if not next week. Likely next week, I would say.
It's next week.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Red Seam says Easter Sound. I hear, I don't know. I hear everyone. People are engaging with us in the chat, so I don't know if
Yeah.
he's just trolling us or what, but yeah. So we will talk a little bit about Community Week, so everybody is prepared. Last week we covered a little bit on what's going to happen. Thank you, Neo, bro. I love you. On what's going to happen. But Community Week, as you know, will have Copa and Jonies, just like last week. And we will have also a special event, I'll say. We are not saying anything yet on that one, but we'll have a special event on a Wednesday. And for Copa, guilds now will be allowed to prepare pre-recorded presentations. So if you're a guild member or a guild leader, know that you can prepare a pre-recorded presentation for Copa up to 10 minutes long. So we will allow that. You don't need to. You can do it live as well, Jindo, if you want. That's also allowed. We're just doing it because of what happened last year with Star Atlas Italia, for example, and also some
Yeah.
language barriers as well on really cool presentations that didn't go as they wanted to, just because it was bad. Yeah, like it just
I
we had
like
technical issues.
how he changed his mind
So
super quickly.
yeah, he changed his mind. So yeah, you can people that are from other languages like Neo, like Chimera, like Coexist, and Italians. They can all pre-record their presentations and send that over, so it's better. So that's one thing for Copa, but you will need to have someone to reply to questions. Then for Jonies, we want to see the nominations. Remember that these close next week, and there will be 4 final nominees per category. So you can go vote right now. I just posted the link in the chat. So make sure that you vote. It's very important. it's very important that you go and vote right now, because then you will only be able, if you don't nominate now, then you will only be able to vote between the 4 options that other people nominated, basically. So get your favorite community members and projects voted and nominated in there. So do it right now. And Neo, the maximum for the recording, it's 10 minutes for the recording for Copa. 10 minutes is the max. So, okay, we keep moving on this. Let me find my... Oh, and there's also one other thing for the community, that it's the community carnival. So the community carnival will be, during the whole week, you guys will be able to earn tickets. It will work exactly like the golden tickets. And you will be able to earn tickets throughout the whole week by participating in the events. And at the end of the week, you will participate for a raffle in the community carnival for $15,000 in prizes in Star Atlas asset. So by just participating in events, being active in the chat, you will be able to earn a lot of tickets. The more active you are, the more tickets you can have. Tickets. The more tickets you can have. And you will be able to earn, you have the chance to earn a bunch of prizes. So that's also going to be pretty huge.
It's going to be super fun, guys. Like, we'll have many Discord activities. We will bring some beloved events that the community loves, like Gartic. We'll have marble races, we'll have trivias, and etc. And just by participating, just by being present, you get your tickets and you'll be able to redeem them at the end of the community week for super cool prizes. So it will pay up to be active in the community and having fun with us throughout the many events that we will host.
Yes, that's absolutely correct, Jose. And then also for the builders, if you're working on anything right now and you want free exposure to the Star Atlas community, we'll also allow you guys to send us a recording of max 2 minutes. So a recording that it's like a video ad or a commercial ad that you can send to us, and we'll play it during the week. So in the events, we'll have like commercial blocks, quote unquote commercial blocks, where you will be able to see your video basically, and the whole community as well. So if you're working on something that you want the Star Atlas community to know about, you can send that over. And yeah, that GIF in the chat, bro. That GIF in the chat, they just saw us. Oh my god.
You out, bro. For real.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's crazy. So yeah. That's all, I think. Also, the latest AFIA newsletter covers it in a lot of detail. So let me see if I can find that and link it in the chat. So AFIA, as always, Funcracker has been doing his research, and you can find the AFIA newsletter with more information on everything, actually, here in the chat. I linked it there. So you will know everything that is upcoming, I think, if you read that newsletter. And then also one more thing, and this is for this week. There's a poker night for the community, a poker night that is free to join. So a free to join poker night tomorrow that you can register right now. I posted the event link there in the chat, and you can register right now for a poker night with the Star Atlas community. So
yeah,
that's
it's going
also
to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be fun for sure.
Last one was intense. Our mods participated and they did poorly. I'm talking to you, Shadix and BB.
Shame.
Yeah, keep it steady for the next one. So yeah. Okay, we can move to the main topic now. 15 minutes of noteworthy news as always. Today, we wanted to do a PIPS brainstorming session together with the community, together with Emperor here representing the DAO Council. So as you guys know, or if you don't, now you will know, the DAO has a treasury, which has an ecosystem fund that anyone can use to request funding for building stuff in the Star Atlas ecosystem, for a meetup, for anything, basically. And the community can vote on that. And you can get funded, basically, by the Star Atlas DAO and the community for building stuff here. So what we wanted to do is to brainstorm here together with the community, with Emperor, on what cool things the community could do for Star Atlas, for the ecosystem, to help it grow, basically. And Jose, you're sharing that in the chat. Let me see if I can pull it up also for the YouTube viewers, that the DAO right now has more than $1 million, almost $1.5 million, to be used for this by the Star Atlas community. I believe
It's
the
crazy.
ecosystem fund is like 25% of it, but still,
It's
there's
crazy.
a lot
It's
of
a lot of money.
untapped potential.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it, Santi.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
we
and
have Emperor here.
Yeah, the ecosystem fund is what the community has access to currently, and we have an announcement, but I'll make an announcement since we're all doing it. We're going to be topping that up. I think it might technically already be topped up, but don't tell the other guys who aren't here that I made the announcement of an announcement. But
Okay.
yep. We definitely have
Perfect.
some cash to burn. I say that jokingly.
Nice.
We're not just going to burn it.
I hope not.
Burn tokens.
Or
People
else if
want
it's
burn our
burned, it's
tokens.
the community voted it. We can blame each
Exactly.
other.
Yeah, don't give Signal
Yes.
any
So-
ideas on ridiculous pips to propose, like burning Atlas.
Yeah. But Emperor, there have been a bunch of pips already out there, and some of them approved already, right? So
Yeah, we've approved several. There is one. I think it's important. There is one up for vote right now. I don't know. Can you pull that up?
yeah,
Of
I'll
course,
pull it up.
I'm not. It's the expansion for the meetup that the guys are doing. Yeah, I can't do two things at once here. There is
Yeah,
a
I'll pull it up.
currently an open one. So please go vote on that. Even if you abstain, just go vote on it, participate. Yeah, there we go. So that's the merch expansion that those guys are doing. I want to give those guys a shout out. They're asking for money for to buy stuff like flyers and T-shirts and hand it out. But the important thing is they're doing it all on their own. They're not getting paid for it, and I think that's awesome that they're willing to do that and do it for free. You know, then they're not taking any money for this. They're going to get some cool video. You guys can read through the pip, but go vote on that if you haven't.
Nice.
The other one there's several ongoing. I should probably just pull this up. Where's that picture? Okay, so right now there's a few in drafts. Let me go.
Did our friend crash?
I think he crashed, Santi.
I think he crashed. He did.
he did.
He officially did. He officially crashed.
Let's invite him back.
Yeah, let's get him back on stage.
Emperor, you back?
Emperor? My brother in Iris? You still alive?
Maybe he tried to stream while having camera on and crashed.
Could be.
And you are streaming as well, Santi. I think you need to stop streaming.
But it doesn't work, or?
Yeah. The Emperor has
Okay,
fallen.
we can cover it. There's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the
I think this
Star Atlas
already passed it.
ecosystem made expansion. It looks like it passed, yes.
Mhm.
Yes, it passed. It was close. But this is the Lord Raspy proposal to create the documentary for Star
Yep.
Atlas.
Can you hear me this time?
Hey,
Yes.
Emperor, we hear you, friend.
I switched to mobile. I don't know what happened. But yeah, keep going.
We're looking at the Star Atlas ecosystem media expansion right now.
Perfect. Yeah, and I don't know if people saw the update from Raspy in the chat, but he's getting ready. And apparently everyone's on X except the hardcore people. If you really want to follow along with Raspy and that pip, I suggest following him on X because he does give regular updates on there. So he's cooking.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice, very cool. Very cool. So Raspy's cooking on this one. What else do we have? If this cares to work. Trident Systems. This is for EVI.
Yep.
And
He's
this one
cooking.
passed.
Yep, it passed. He's cooking away. Haven't heard a lot from him lately, but he's got the cash and he's good to go. I think a lot of
Nice.
people are in building mode right now, so that they're slightly quiet. But yeah, the write-in and then the in-person community meetup platform. That's the one that failed, I believe. Yep, that one failed. That was the first one that didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Theo's cooking away. He was one of them that there's a USDC ask, and we kind of learned a lot from that one versus an Atlas ask, and then like slippage and all of that. It caused us to have to come up with a better process, and Bodhi has been working really hard on that, and I really appreciate all his work on it. Yeah, I haven't heard much from them lately either. And then I think everything else. Oh, you know what? Here's an important one. I guess I don't want to skip over it, but the term limits failed as well. So the Iris Bounty, we actually got our first application for that. The guys from Sci have applied for some money, and it's a really easy process. Let me do something real quick.
I think this one is important to note before we get on the details, Emperor, that because I know that a lot of people are reluctant to ask for funding for like meetups and stuff like that because they think that they have to go through the full PIP process. But it's important to note that Iris Bounty, this PIP, is already approved and allows people to submit a request for $500 in funding to host a in real life meetup. So if you want to host a meetup with your guildmates and introduce people to Star Atlas and do stuff like that, you can request funding from the Iris Bounty, and you can get $500 to host a meetup without having to go through the full PIP process, you know? So
yeah,
it's
it's super handy. Sorry, I'm trolling Bodhi for a second. So yeah, that being said, it is really, really easy, guys. It probably couldn't be any easier. And I'm gonna kind of sort of put Santi on the spot here, and then you guys also have the link for it. So why don't you go ahead and go on there and apply for some funds, Santi? Click that link. So I want to show people how easy it actually is. And unfortunately, I'm on mobile. Let me see if I can get it bigger. So yeah, so we just have people fill out a few things. One of the click buttons, it's really important. Can you zoom in a little, Santi, or no?
Yep.
I'm on my phone. Okay, so this is the important part. So there's a maximum of $500 per request. That doesn't mean that's all you can spend. It just means that's all we're going to reimburse for. So like the PIP, the Iris Bounty request that came through, they're going to estimate their expenses at $1,000, but they're only requesting $500. Yeah, any community member can apply. Payment will be paid in Atlas. That's important. That's definitely one of the changes. It's up to you to when you get it, you got to either keep it or convert it right away to minimize slippage or whatever. But public event, and then they'll be based on a criteria such as feasibility, alignment with values, and available funds. So Santi has confirmed that.
So there's a question from Falcor. He's saying, I'm doing regular meetups with University Blockchain Club, but this sounds like only for existing community members. Well, I think you need to create something that is for the Star Atlas community, but you can invite people from the outside, right? But it's
Yep.
not like you can do it for just random people that have no ties to Star Atlas.
Yeah, and we'll get to it here after a
I
little
need
bit.
to dox my
Yeah,
my
man.
email.
You can just no, just make a fake one. Do you have a fake one? Use your burner one.
I just put whatever.
Yeah. So that's a yeah. And then okay, so this is where this comes in. So the whole really one of the big purposes of this, the reason that we're spending the community's well, not we, the community is spending the community's money, is we want some deliverables. Yeah, we want people to get together, but more importantly, we want pictures and social media posts, and we do require the receipts. And this was one of the contentious things of video is highly encouraged but not required. What we want out of this is content that we as the DAO can use, and if the team wants to use it as well. So that's what you get. Yeah, you get $500, up to $500, but we need to see some deliverables, and we also need to see receipts. And so it's important to, when you confirm those, understand that. So this is always interesting seeing when we were testing the form out. It was fun seeing some of the names people were coming up with. So pretty simple. Location. I mean, it doesn't really get much more simple than this. And this, yeah, you can only request 500, but you can obviously spend more, but you're only going to get reimbursed.
Super easy process.
Boom, done. So I highly encourage people do a meetup, and there's something about doing it, meeting people. When we did the Vegas meetup last year, it was just breaking bread with people. There's just something special about it. So I highly encourage people to do that.
Yeah,
So
for
Yeah,
sure.
getting together
nothing.
is super important for the ecosystem. It
Yeah,
makes a lot of difference.
yeah. When you get to meet the people, it's just so fun. So, there are several other pips in draft, like the working groups. We're still working through details on that. The values list, I kind of put that on pause. The DAO casters, there's a lot of ones that are still kind of in the background, but we're kind of pushing those down the list um, and bumping up some of the other ones, like the funding in independent economic research that Peter put in there. Now that Flipside's gone, it makes things a lot more complicated, and so he's working through some of that. So yeah, where is that? Let me find it. Pip drafts. Yeah, Stevens funding independent economic research. Yeah, so that's kind of a high level overview. Actually, it's not even high level. That's what we're got going on, and that's what's been passed, and people are cooking, and people are coming up with ideas. And I definitely encourage people to go chime in on these, like on the drafts. Don't feel afraid to chime in. I will request that everyone's respectful. Just let people have their ideas and put them out there. But we do want feedback from everyone. So I think
Yeah,
that's
for
what
sure.
our current drafts and ideas and stuff are.
It's moving, but we want to see more, right? We want to
Yeah,
see more pips.
that's why we're here.
Yes. Is it something like, do you guys in the council have something in mind, or like have you thought about things that you would like the community to come up with?
No, we really would like to encourage people to think outside the box, though. I know one of the, Signal is one of the more outside of the box idea guys, and he puts his ideas on there, and a bunch of them get shot down. Like, what was one of his? Oh, his last one was the Star Atlas billboard. He's got a bunch of thumbs down, but it caused a bunch of conversation, and so bare minimum, throw out some ideas. Please don't
Mhm.
throw out ideas about like changes to the game and whatnot. But we would like to see the off the wall stuff. So you never know what's going to stick.
True.
You just throw stuff at the wall and see what's going to stick. So that's really what we want, is because we don't know what we don't know, and that's one of the things we love about this community is there are a lot of out of the box people, and throw some stuff out there and let's see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Anthony saying third party Starcom alternative. That'll be
Man.
interesting to see.
Ah,
Yeah,
Jesus.
I know, kind of on that point, I know King Brian was asking for some feedback on the tournaments, and oh my gosh, I know if you guys know this, but those tournaments that you guys have been doing in UE5, man, just the engagement, man, that first one, I can't remember who the host was, but he was the hype man, and just watching it, all I could do is watch. I didn't participate, but you just get so many eyes on us doing things like that.
Mhm.
So if somebody wants to host a tournament or something, like, just it's stuff like that I think the community could really get behind. Um,
Yep, for sure. I like that. That's a great option. I think we need more tournaments. And I think it would be interesting to have a similar pip to like the Iris Bounty, Emperor,
yeah,
but for tournaments. So it's like there's $10,000 allocated, and if you host a game night for Star Atlas, you can request $500 in prizes, and if you get these many players in the game, it unlocks, something like that. So, for example, an external guild like Tokenized 360 can come to us and say, I want to host a tournament for Star Atlas. I want $500 in prizes. And I promise that I will bring, 100 players into the game. And if we put that as a requirement, $500 will unlock if you bring 100 players, maybe 250 will unlock if you bring 50. I don't know. We can come up with something like that. But I think it will be interesting because no one wants to go through the PIP process to do something like that. But if funding is easily available, just like that one, like for the meetups, I think we can do something like that.
yeah.
Emperor.
I think that would get a lot of support. I don't know anyone in the community that would like heavily not support it. Just going through the PIP process and requesting money it can be daunting. Don't get me wrong, but like these little sub recipient ones, all it is we have these few rules that you have to follow, and then ask for some receipts, and then boom, you can get some funding. So I totally agree. I would love for somebody. I'm assuming everyone would love somebody to create a PIP like that. I think it passed pretty quick.
I agree. Just needs to lock in the requirements, the specific requirements, but maybe we can work on it together as a community. Why
Yeah,
not?
for sure.
We can throw in a first draft and see where it goes.
Yeah, and then once it gets past the idea stage and into the draft, and even before then, people are more than welcome to come on Saturdays to our meetings. It's super casual. I see a lot of guys in the chat that come almost every week, and it's just super chill. Just come, throw out some ideas, and have a chat about it. We'd love that. Streamline funding
Yep.
for tournaments through iOS.
Yeah, maybe also streamline funding for tournaments through Iris Quest, Pantheon, and Galley Cup. I think that's the PIP that Brian is working on, right?
Hmm.
Technically?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I think Brian was working on something like that. So I think Falcor, that one could be a thing. I see two ideas from BB. One is Twitch extension for Star Atlas. Loadouts, leaderboards, live stats. Goal: develop a Twitch extension that enhances Star Atlas streaming with interactive overlays. That would be interesting as well. That would be interesting. Little things like that can go a long way,
Yeah, VB here has many good ideas, like the multilinguistic fund to translate things up for Star Atlas. That's huge for me.
That's a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah, translations. Also, working groups for official community wiki, multilingual community wiki.
Yeah, we need this. We really need this.
That will be fun. Peep idea: rent out HyperX Esports Arena in Vegas, host the esport tournament meetup, and a walk-up playing for onlookers. Do it during Rare Evo weekend. Yeah, I think that's cool. That's cool. Neo says, I pay $200 a month to translate my streams for 15 people. Sad. That's why we need funding for guys like you, Neo, bro. We need to support you guys however we can via this ecosystem fund. You're not the only one in that situation where you're spending money, but and it's hard costs that you have, and you want some funding. I mean, I think that's why it makes sense.
Absolutely.
1 million Atlas thrown into the middle of the Holocene map. Last man standing takes it all.
That's a good one.
That would be a good way to close the season. Yeah.
Though we joke about it, and that it takes probably longer to do some of this before it's going to close. But those aren't like stuff like that is super intriguing, and it doesn't have to be a million Polis. It could be, it's kind of another tournament format. Can we tie that in with Holosim or with Sage or any of that? Keep brewing and cooking on that stuff, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we can work on that one. I think the game nights fund could be pretty interesting, in my opinion. That's one we can draft and see what happens.
Yeah. One thing that I'm seeing here, Santi, is that having those, let's say, umbrella initiatives that allows people to really quickly kickstart something is a must-have in terms of infrastructure for the DAO.
I agree.
Like having like what we have as for Iris Bounty, but in other areas for merch for in real events or bounties for tournaments and things like that. I think that's a good focus that people in the DAO could take in the near term. Like trying to create those infrastructure pips that allows things to move faster, in a more decentralized manner. I think that's really good.
Yeah,
I agree. That's a problem also. Like, for example, when we now have the first application for the Iris Bounty, and it comes from the Italian community, and they didn't know that existed before, They didn't know that was a thing. So, yeah, I think having those and making them more visible or promoting them heavier could go a long way, because they knew that funding was available, but they didn't know that you didn't have to do a full pip for it. So yeah.
Does that mean that we as a council and a DAO at large hasn't done a good enough job getting that word out? Obviously, if they didn't know. Wonder what the solution to that is.
Yeah, it's a hard challenge. It's a hard challenge to solve. It's not like it's an easy thing, especially with everything that is going on in Star Atlas, right? But that's why we're here, for example, to tell people about it.
Yeah, you guys just have to stop doing cool things, I guess, so we can spend time announcing announcements.
Yes. Yes. Neo says the Brazilian community is also thinking about creating a PIP for these events. We are still recruiting interested participants before starting the PIP. Well, if you're planning on a meetup, you don't need to create a PIP. You just need to fill the form, Neo. If you're thinking of a meetup. No PIP. Just fill the form. So yeah.
I do want to.
Emperor, let me share the form again, just so Neo has it.
And I do want to go back to Qatar's I'm so bad with names. I'm sorry. He was asking about not seeing actual pips because any idea about Polis is also in-game idea, which is not in DAO framework. You have a good point. Right now, we're still a young DAO, and we only have, basically, for all intents and purposes, we only have the authority as a DAO, and then us as council to help facilitate. All we have is the ability for the ecosystem funds. That's the long and short of it. So we need to work on getting the ecosystem fund stuff going. Can we make some fundamental changes? Maybe. So like Bodhi's working group PIP, that's not an ecosystem fund, but it's not as cut and dry and easy of a thing to do right now. So we've been directed to really concentrate on the ecosystem fund. So that was a good question, and I think it's something that needs addressed. We just really need to concentrate on that.
Mm-hmm. True. That makes sense. Jose, have you thought about anything that could be huge for the ecosystem fund? Putting you on the
I really
spot,
like,
bro.
yeah, exactly. But I really like this framework of us setting general pips that allows community to move quickly with small budgets, so we don't raid the DAO out of money. A pip for caipirinhas to everyone. PG, that would be expensive. Yeah, caipirinhas are not cheap nowadays, unfortunately.
What
But
what is that?
it's a Brazilian drink.
Oh,
Brazilian drink.
Caipirinha.
Yeah, it's super good.
uh,
But yeah, Neil shared is that drink. Uh,
It's very good,
but
by the way, for what it's worth. But yeah.
yeah, maybe even small marketing local initiatives would be also something interesting to see, like see the different community reactions to Star Atlas. For example, the Brazilian Brew, for example. Let's say we added a budget of $20 a week for us to run ads in Portuguese for people to come join Star Atlas in the Brazilian Brew, for example. I think
Mhm.
maybe this is worth testing, trying to bring more people from the different nationalities to the community brews in their languages. I think small
Yeah,
things like that can have a big impact in the long run, you know.
yeah, I agree. Anything that where there's a clear, let's say, KPI, not to make it boring, but a clear KPI and an easy way to get money. So it's like streamlined and fast. I think that's what can drive the biggest results right now. Just say I agree with you. Like a
Yeah.
fund like the Iris Bounty, but for different initiatives. So one for game nights or tournaments, and another for I don't know, like international community building, something like that.
Mhm.
Could actually go a long way.
Yeah, no, for sure.
no, I agree. One thing we passed over, and this is a good time to get community feedback. So I was talking about Signal being out of the box thinking and all that. I don't know if you can go to it and if you want to put it up and read it or not, Santi. But under PIP drafts, um,
Hmm.
return to the DAO casters, creation of DAO caster role. If anyone hasn't read this, I would like some feedback if there is anybody in the audience. So basically, man, there's a lot of chatter about it. Um, so I'll just read the summary real quick. This proposal introduces the DAO Casters, a structured program of 5 elected content creators dedicated to promoting the entire Star Atlas ecosystem, including the DAO, the game, the broader community initiatives. DAO casters will be elected every 6 months through a formal election process. Each caster will receive a monthly stipend based on daily equivalent of 7,500 Atlas, plus more Atlas. For giveaways, contests, and promotions, casters are responsible. Responsibilities will include weekly content, monthly community live streams, and regular collaborations. The program provides the ecosystem with consistent, engaging, and professional media representation. I don't know if anyone's really read through this and the comments, but that that's out of the box, but it's not cheap. It's not the cheapest pip out there. But I'd be curious to get any feedback from the community on that one.
Let's see.
Or from
I don't
you
know if
guys.
anyone read it, but I think there's value in it. I think one of the key pieces of feedback that we have gotten, I guess, from the community and the creators is that there's no rewards right now to really create content for Star Atlas. Since we don't have a marketing budget, we're not paying for it, and the community is still quite small. There is no real monetary incentive to create content other than loving the project as a whole, you know? And other, like the blockchains and crypto people just pay crazy money for content as well. So we're just trying to do it the organic way. And I believe that doing it via the DAO, rewarding the content creators that are spending time in Star Atlas, just sharing the news, is valuable. But I agree that with BV in the chat when he says that it may be a little bit complicated in the format that the current DAOcasters PIP has, but just for keeping up with it, you know. But I believe it is really important to support the creators however we can in this point in time.
Yeah. I even see Agent Solace asking about the DAO having its separate marketing budget. You know, maybe Star Atlas is reaching the point where this starts making more sense overall. I think this is a discussion that we should certainly visit in the future. Like how
Yeah, you sorry, Jose. You can
no,
go for it.
no, go on, Santi.
I was going to say that in the future, I think in the close future, it makes sense to have a marketing budget. I mean, not to derail a lot, but it's a good question, and I'm sure that a lot of people are asking that question themselves. But why are we not spending money in marketing? It's because we need to see the retention numbers in the products in a better state, and the products mature to a better state, where we're just not throwing money in the fire. You know, right now.
Exactly.
We have many products that are very, very close to reaching a point in which retention can be high. So, for example, Holosim, it's still in beta testing phase, but it's a product that will be able to retain people if we target
The
that
retention,
correctly.
yeah, the retention rates in
So,
Holocim are absurd. It's crazy. Like
yeah,
it never like very small oscillations between daily users, always keeping the same levels. This is where we start feeling confident that marketing makes sense for a product.
exactly. And we have not had this before ever, to be completely honest. Like none of our products have had the retention mechanisms in place to actually retain people, basically. So that's one thing with Holosim. I think we're reaching that. We're pretty close to it. And then with the next UE5 release, the next update that is coming, I think we're also reaching the point where it will be able to retain more people. So, for example, just to give you guys an example, when we did this game night with D360, around 150 people played that day. And in the analytics tools from our end, you can see a huge spike on like people that played that day. 150 people at the same time playing, but then it drops to like 20 the next day. So what this tells us is like it's not worth it right now for us to spend money in putting US dollars behind these campaigns. It just doesn't make sense because it won't be able to retain that. But once we see the retention numbers go high, then that's when it starts making more sense to spend money in it. Like with Holosim, it's getting pretty close. And if the data shows that retention is higher after the upcoming release, which will have progression, on-chain rewards, persistent servers, I think we're actually getting pretty close. And also, with that, and tying this conversation back to the PIP brainstorming session, it also means that any money spent from the DAO can drive better results at the same time, right? Any pip that is done can drive more results than right now, especially if you
Exactly.
tailor it towards that.
It's
So yeah,
Yep.
so
go on,
Santi,
Hector, go.
since you're talking time lanes and whatnot, and pips take a little while to go through, when because you leak something because it takes a few months to get a pip through. How many? Let's say how many? If the community wanted to have a pip ready to go and voted on, by time the next big thing happens, how much time would they need? How many months?
You don't have enough time.
I think you guys should get started yesterday.
Yesterday,
You guys heard it.
literally.
Love that.
Yeah, we are
Um,
super close, guys. We're super close.
yeah, and Anthony's saying UE5 events instead of marketing. It would be great to have it built with referrals to allow boosts and get people playing. Yes, that's also another thing. Like in-game growth hacking mechanisms, let's say, or growth tools in-game. That's also very much needed.
Yes.
So, absolutely, I agree with that.
And this is something that we are actively thinking about. Like, for example, Holocene, we are going to add lots of social quests that brings people to Star Atlas, help grow the Holocene factions and overall player base. We are, yeah, we are getting close to the point where those things start dropping, boys and girls. Super excited.
Yeah. You will have answers, Emperor, on your question next week.
Yes,
That's
next
awesome.
week.
I love that.
Mhm.
Talking about all this stuff, Anthony, and some of you guys that have these ideas, go start an idea in the PIP idea channel. There's no harm in it. Like, we don't have working groups right now, but shoot, like put your collective heads together. If there's a few of us, even from this chat, go start one and just start the conversation and see where it leads. We're more than happy to help work through some of the details and whatnot, but go do it right now.
Yep. Yep. For sure. I think that's super important. Egonac, did Crew Up get deprecated? It's definitely not being worked on right now. I don't know if in the
But
future it will be a thing, but right now it's not being worked on.
yeah, but crews are going to get a lot of love very soon. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be too worried about that.
Yep. True.
Stanchi, I think we are approaching dangerous territory now. We have been steady for so long. We can't let our guard down at the last moments, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't leak the alpha.
No. People will know everything next week. People will know everything next week.
Hey, steady.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Ah.
So
Any other
what else?
idea,
What else?
guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Any
have
other
some time.
ideas?
Share with us.
If the DAO gives you $10,000 right now to you, I'm talking to you, anyone that is out here listening. The DAO
What would you
comes and gives you $10,000. Here are $10,000. Do something of value for the Stratus ecosystem. Here are $10,000. Do something. What would you do? Rusty Spork sends a roulette.
Rusty Spark goes to the casino?
To the casino. All in cruise, Katir says. Marvel Race. Oh my god, Neo. Yeah.
We
Vegas
developed a Marvel game.
Esports Arena. Okay. Phoenix
For
Boss.
real, merch and marketing. Phoenix Bus. Nice.
Yeah. Finish my Stratus board game. Nice. Vegas Dome. Are you talking about the sphere? I don't think you can get anything. I don't think you
Yeah,
can get a pixel on the sphere for
exactly what I
10K.
was going to say. We can get a pixel.
I think it's probably pretty expensive. Just a flash. One flash.
You know,
Guys, everybody look at this sphere at 420.
you know, when we have a lot of money for marketing and things like that, what I would love to do is have like some holograms going to the main cities in the world and showcasing Star Atlas ships through the walls of the
Oh,
buildings.
drones.
Yes,
The drones.
exactly. Like oosters walking the streets, things like that. That would be super
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And one thing that actually Falcor brought up earlier is that anyone could request funding right now to build a DAC management tool. And John
That's
just posted
super
it as
needed.
well. So data analytics and DAC platform. So DAC platform right now is not making any progress from our end, but we opened up all the documentation that you need to be able to build the DAC platform and to manage player profiles and all that. We actually did that not so long ago. We shared that in the last builders call. Let me see if I can find this. Where is this? Where is this? But it's in the build. It's in the build program, and here it is. So if you go here, we opened up player profile documentation. Oh, School and Mons is working on it already. Okay, you guys should request funding for it because we gave you the basically all the documentation you need to build a DAC platform and a DAC management tool and system there with the player profile documentation. And that can literally compete directly with our DAC management platform. And I'm sure if you request funding to build it fully, the community will probably support. So
Absolutely.
think about it, John. Think about it.
Dream with this.
Yeah.
Uh, I like it.
Ask your pillow.
Yeah. Kindar also said that the DAO should have a job board to match tasks with builders. This is something that I have been talking about for a long time now, Quindar, and I 1000% support this. This is super important to grow the ecosystem.
Mhm. True. True.
Let's see. I think it's time to close. I guess we're nearly top of the hour. We had many cool ideas. We did
Yep.
Iris work today.
I think there's a lot from here. Emperor, I'll probably reach out regarding the game nights fund. I think we can actually start working on something together. Do you have like a prompt or something I could use for AI to help me spin up a little pip?
I know Signal has been really good at that. He's been using a bunch of prompts. So maybe reach out to Signal. He's kind of our in-house crazy pip writer guy.
Okay. He matches the role description.
Yeah, he does.
So yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining. I think you will have a lot of news next week. That's all I'm going to say. And I am super excited also about Community Week. I want everybody to be here. I want guilds to start preparing those presentations, businesses to take advantage of the absolutely free advertising that we will offer you guys for during the whole week. So send me your videos. It's 2 minutes max. Send it to me on DMs, and I'm storing all of them on a Google Drive folder. So definitely get involved. Don't miss the opportunity to promote what you're working on for completely free. So yes, that's all I'm going to say. Tomorrow, poker night for free if anyone wants to participate. On Friday, Galia game night as always, and Saturday the council is hosting the council office hours. So
Time to lock in, boys and girls. We'll need your help
absolutely.
very soon. So get ready to put work on Star Atlas, doing Iris work. All the boats will
Yes.
rise together. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
start earning the teacups.
Exactly. The teacup.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see
Thank
you.
you, guys.
See you around.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
See you, boys.
Bye bye.